What's up, YouTube? Pastor Bob here. Hope everybody's doing good. It's almost Friday. Thank God, right? So, what I wanted to show you was I got this Seiko 5. It's a 17 jewel automatic. It was rough. I mean, man, this thing took a while to really get ticking. I mean, oh my God. It was all scratched up. And the hardest thing about these watches is when you get a sapphire crystal. By the way, this is the crystal. Some people call it the glass or the face or whatever, but it's called the crystal. Man, it is such a pain in the Rumpelstiltskin to get the scratches out. It's a sapphire. Sapphire is, 8.5 to 9.1 or 2. I mean, it's variation, right? But we'll say 9 on the Moore scale. Moore scale is a scale that scales the hardness of materials from 0 to 10. 10 being, a diamond, and you have like moldavite, which is underneath that. They call them sky diamonds or meteor or whatever, but diamond is the hardest. So sapphire, in order to polish it, you have to have, a cerium that is strong enough to get the scratches out. Cerium, a mix, so it'd have to be like a sapphire mix or a diamond polish. And let me tell you, it took quite a bit to get that baby looking like that. Let me tell you, my shoulders, because I do everything by hand, man. So, let me bring you up close so you can really see. I mean, there was a lot of polishing to make that look like that, and it looks good. You're at 5 times right now, so yeah, it was a lot. Let me put you back down to 1 times. Okay. And then I had the bracelet was, oh man, it was rough. So I got most of it out. I got the sides without my fingerprints on it, all back polished up. And the back of it, I don't know, let me undo this for a second here so you guys can see this. I got it all tightened back up now. It's got my fingerprints on it, but I got that all polished back up, all cleaned back out. So it looks really good. What I like about this model, and not all the 5s are like that, because there's a lot of different models of 5s. This has got the gold back, so it's the two-tone. And this is automatic, meaning that it self-winds itself. Here's the day and date. Just absolutely a beautiful watch. And anybody that knows me knows I love Seiko watches. My dream watch is, to have a grand Seiko. I mean, I love watches. Don't get me wrong. I love a lot of watches. Some of them are beyond, where I can reach. I mean, oh my God, APs are out of this world. I'm not really a Rolex guy. I don't know. I'm just not a Rolex guy. I'm not on the thing. Longines made some nice watches. I mean, they're cool. I like Tissot watches. I like Omega watches. And because they're reasonable, you can still get them at a reasonable price, you know. Um, but Seiko makes wonderful watches. I mean, man, I mean, it's kind of hard to beat a Seiko watch. If you've ever owned a Seiko watch, if you don't own one, you need to buy one. I mean, look, they're tried and true. They're workhorses. I mean, just absolutely wonderful watches to own. I look at all kinds of different watches from all kinds of different brands, you know, from the oldest to the new guys on the block to micro brands. I mean, I really like watches. I like watches, I like coins, I like guitars. I mean, I'm into just about everything. But I really, you know, when I look at something, I say, okay, what can the common person buy that has, you know, a really nice introductory cost of around, you know, $100 or up? That's a good, solid watch. Not every company can say that. I'm serious. They can't. Not every company can say that. Some companies, they only produce so many watches. And, you know, like if you want a Constantine, right? Oh my God, they're beautiful watches and they're so well made, you know? But for the common person, you know, who's going to walk around with, you know, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 5.6 million, 10 million, 20 million, you know, $67 million watch? It's not going to happen. You know, those are investment watches, right? But when you get to a common watch like this, like a Seiko, and you say, okay, I own a really nice Seiko 5. Okay. You got a good watch. And you know you got a good watch. Okay? It's an automatic watch. I mean, there's, you know, you can't beat it. I mean, finding really nice ones, you know, that work, that look good, you know, that you don't have to worry about. You got to, you know, search around. Just because it has a name on it doesn't mean that it's a perfect watch, you know. And the thing about mechanical watches versus quartz watches, you know, mechanical watches, you got to tune them up once in a while. You know, got to have them cleaned, you know. A little bit of adjustments. Digital, well, put a battery in every so often. Good to go. Look, if you're just going to thrash it around, you don't care about your watch. You know, you buy a cheap watch with a digital operation that's halfway decent. Seiko makes those too. But say you've fallen in love with your watch and now you want to have an investment watch. Seiko makes them too. Grand Seikos are absolutely beautiful. And I think that there's, you know, Grand Seiko and also Citizen now also makes a mechanical watch with impeccable timing. I mean, even the most expensive watches in the world, you know, can't compare to the timing of this company, of Seiko. You know, I mean, and Citizen. I mean, even Orient. Orient's got some beautiful watches, and they're all underneath the same umbrella, which is Seiko. Now, am I sponsored by Seiko? No. Does Seiko talk to me and ask me to do videos? No. Do I like them? Yeah, I like them as in Citizen watches. I mean, I like a lot of different watches. I own a lot of different types of watches. I love Tissot. I like Omega. And people say, well, how come you don't, you know, own a Rolex? Ain't they cool? Look, Rolex has got a nice movement. But I don't know. You could buy a homage watch, which means like a Rolex, that works just as good, just as functional, just as good looking. Big deal. Who wants to pay $10,000 for a name? Doesn't mean much to me. You know what I mean? I mean, I suppose if I didn't have anything better to do with my money than to throw 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, $60,000 or more on a watch and say, look at me, then okay, fine. There's people for that. I can't play in that, playground. But people who, want to spend $100 and have a nice watch, and people look at you and say, you know, they know a little bit about a watch. They know what a good watch is. A workout horse, An NH35 movement. Oh, man, great movement. Man, tried and true. A lot of people use Seiko's movements in their watches that they build. They may not build the movement itself, but they may make the outer case an exceptional work. Another thing about Seiko is their polishing. Guys, let me tell you something. Seiko's polishing is off the hook on their watches. Go look at some videos on brand new Seiko watch. Their polishing, there is something about it. I don't know what it is. And to try to bring it back to their standard is very difficult, man. I mean, they got it. And most people can't say they have it. So, hey, if you're looking to get a new watch, try some Seikos. Try some, cheaper brands. If you're getting into watch repair or watchmaking, look, work with some Seikos. They're affordable to get. They're affordable to repair. And really and truly, I'll show you one day my collection. They are beautiful watches, and there's lots of variations of them. So, I hope this was an informative video. Hope you like my watch, and thank you for stopping by and looking at my video. Take care. God bless. This is Pastor Bob. I'm out of here. See ya.